Are you recording now?
We're recording, and this is Sandy Glaze. It's the 24th of September 2025, and we have unhappy dominionists. Are you a dominionist or a colonialist? A colonist?
You know what?
Sandy.
There's so many names being thrown around right now. You have no idea what category they throw you under. I was told once I was a misogynist. I'm like, I'm female. So people just throw labels out. So I don't know what's going on in Canada in terms of some of the political stuff. I honestly think Trump is in charge, and I don't care who likes Trump and who doesn't. I don't care. It's not
Well,
about that.
the globalist plan is very simple. All of the Americans under one state, north and
So that would
south.
be Americans, Canadians, and Mexicans, but they would call Turtle Island would be under one state.
Yeah.
So what I'm
So
watching right now,
the physical continent will be one country.
So that's part of the New World Order, but I
Yes.
also think it's going to be part of the positive changes if they can come through. And I think the positive changes are still happening as well.
And
it's going to get darker before it gets light. It's always darkest before the dawn.
The analysis when Trump was here, I'm low level here. The analysis that the way that Trump was treated both times here, that he is de facto king. It's not a case of being de facto king. He is king.
I saw you put that on one of your emails.
He walks in front of the king, our king, because they're all out of office.
Because he is in charge. And I do think, people can have a...
The other thing is that today they've arrested, I think they've arrested Obama. And also
Really?
they are talking about, the next one they're talking about is...
Hillary?
Let's not if and but about it. I'm not too sure, but they're now talking about another one. Putin has handed over the evidence of the MRI, whatever the hell the bloody thing, the recombinant RNA stuff as being toxic, and that means they need
mRNA?
to arrest whatever that detail is, and they're talking about arresting Bill Gates now.
So that would be interesting to see that happen. But when we look at our timelines, I look at what's happening in Canada. This is just my opinion. They are putting the boots to us because they want to secure the northern border of the United States. So they need to control the people in Canada. I think that's why they are doubling down on us like crazy right now. So we've got, okay, so that's great.
Explain what is actually happening. Give us a heads up for the 24th of September 2025, Sandy. And so Sandy, I have to say, you're not looking as well as you used to.
Well, thank you, Miles. That's always flattering.
I know,
no wonder you're single.
What's happening?
So
with you?
So they've taken a run at me. So I was going to talk a little bit about it, but and people are telling me that I'm looking better than I did. So they gave me a rash back in March. It started out in one hand and went to the other hand, went to my feet. Then it started all over my body. I've had this rash for 6 months.
What type of rash? Because that sounds like toxic poisoning.
Okay, so I think I'm being hit digitally. I think the digital twin, the biodigital convergence, I think they are experimenting on me. I'm not the only person that I know who says that to me. I don't have food allergies. I don't have health issues. I never... Do you know when some women would get like premenstrual and have menstrual cramps? I'd be lucky if I had 3 of them a year. I'd go, ooh, now would be my cramp for the week. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've not had health issues. I haven't had children. I've never had to look at this stuff. I don't have food allergies. All of a sudden, they just wash me over with this rash. I've seen probably 9 experts, whether it's a nurse practitioner, whether it was emergency room doctors, dermatologists I've seen a couple times. They all tell me different things. I got rid of this rash. If you look at my arms, I don't have it, Miles. It was all over my body. I got rid of it using my own tactics. So they had me go in for an ultrasound. The ultrasound technician was talking about, and I love listening to people. She's telling me that the emergency rooms are getting all kinds of people coming in with skin conditions and rashes that they can't diagnose because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So when she tells me that, then I started thinking, well, maybe I need to start thinking about a few different things. I might tell you privately what I did, because if I tell you publicly, they're probably going to make that illegal. So when you look at my hair was falling out. You wouldn't believe what they did to my fingernails. I've lost weight. So part of the reason, so a lot of this, even in June, I think it was the last time we did a video, even then, my hair was just starting to fall out. So it's starting to come back now. Otherwise, what am I going to do? Shave my head? So my
Toxic poison. Wait a minute. That's some.
okay.
Have you had
So there's things.
Okay.
There's things we can do. You've got orgone. There's things you can do. There's so I won't tell you what I used to be able to get rid of this, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not radiation. What about the 5G that they're throwing at us right now? We call it 5G. It could be 6G.
The 5G has to be very carefully understood. Is that a lot of the existing 5G is lower already used frequencies. The really toxic effects of 5G are those very high frequencies, and then that goes on to 6G. We have to figure out if they're transmitting those high gigahertz frequencies.
Okay, so I wasn't going to show you this, but this is what else I have. It's called a mini Rayonex. It's a German company, and what it has is 200 frequencies in it that harmonize your energy. That's also helped me. So I carry it on my body or my purse or wherever I'm going. So my point is, we got to find ways to be able to outfox these people.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ways that they've harming us is to transmit frequencies which are close to natural frequencies which the body would have in a healthy state. And it doesn't have to be a single frequency. It could be two high frequencies, which when they're together, they mix and produce the lower frequency.
So I wouldn't be surprised by that, because when you think of the microwave frequencies, I believe they were the lower ones. And when you look at the Schumann
microwave
resonance,
or millimeter waves, that's at least a gigahertz. That's
okay,
1,000
so you'd know
megahertz.
You would know more about that than I would.
Well, that's technically what it is, a microwave.
Right. So you would know more about that than I would. I'm just saying, I'm not.
But there can be lower frequencies, like which much lower, which if they are transmitted in a way which mimic frequencies within the body, then it pulls the body's natural frequencies off. That is a health risk.
So I think that's what they're doing with this biodigital convergence and the digital twin. I honestly think I've just been experimented on, but at least I've gone through and I can figure out what I needed to do to mitigate the problem. So what's happened in Canada, Ontario, there was a doctor who really enjoyed my videos. Whenever I would see him, he would say, Sandy Glaze is in the room or whatever. He'd say, you got to listen to her. You got to watch her videos. Well, some of the local truther movements didn't like it because he was their poster boy. So that they end up pulling a couple stunts. Next thing you know, they go and buy him a car and get him back online. So now he owes them, and he doesn't speak about me anymore.
Exactly, yeah. Something similar is happening to Sandy Adams in Glastonbury.
You've talked about that, right? So my point is, the games are the same everywhere, which is really good about us talking about this. You can make the correlation between what's happening in Canada and the UK. These are all sociopaths. So this doctor's a good guy, but he's gullible, so he's still not trustworthy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a lot of these people just don't know what's happening. It's horrendous.
So there's another doctor here. He's there's a couple of them. So I don't do the medical community. It's just not my thing, because other than this rash that I had, I don't have health issues. But so he was talking and he said the COVID vaccine, he goes, it's 180 degrees backward. He goes, they've gone and created this vaccine that goes against the human nature. Well, 180 degrees is what the Satanists do. They don't do 45 degrees. They don't do 240. It's always right behind you. And I'm like, buddy, if you could figure this out, you could probably undo the consequences of the vaccine. As soon as I mentioned the Satanism, his eyes glaze over and he can't talk about it. And then they ask you what your credentials are. Well, I'm not the fucking asshole who came up with COVID, am I? And that's what's missing in all this, Miles, that we've got some smart people who are really attached to their egos. And because they're attached to their egos, they won't even take anything else into consideration.
Is it because they physically can't realize it? They can't realize or don't want to accept that the government or these things are actually happening. It's like a denial thing.
So in that case, I think it's an ego trip, because he knew it was 180 degrees backwards. So then why wouldn't you take other people's input? This is what drives me nuts with experts. I don't care what topic you're in, what category you're in, whether you're in finance, whether you're in food, I don't care what it is. But it's almost like there's a sense of I know I'm smarter than you. And I find white people are the worst for this. I find the Indians work together, the blacks work together. White people have to stand up and show everybody how smart they are. So when I look at most of the politicians that we have, yeah, we've got a few brownies and a few in there. Most of it's the white politicians who are putting the boots to us. What are you looking at? Okay, so what I'm so I've done a lot of work on the 15-minute cities. I've done a lot of work on looking at One Health. So when you look at One Health, what One Health is the European UN environmental group, the UN on its own, World Health Organization, and World Animal Association for Health. So I'm looking at these four groups because this is all part of the New World Order coming in. And when Trump was won the election back in November of last year, within days before he was inaugurated, the CDC announced that One Health is part of the CDC now. Well, we all know how toxic the CDC is.
I think on that subject, NASA's now a security agency. It's not a civilian agency anymore.
So when you look at all the organizations that comprise of One Health, you got me thinking about this. So I don't know that NASA came up in the research, but what did was the USGS, United States Geographical Survey. That website is part of One Health. Well, I'm sitting here thinking I've quoted them before in some of my videos for the water, the groundwater. They're part of One Health. I just was blown away by the number of agencies who were part of One Health. I think it was 2004 or 2009 when that was formulated and organized. Why this matters, there was three, they call themselves experts. I'm trying to think of expert panelists. One was in Germany, one was in South Africa, and one was in Guelph, Ontario, which is like 20 minutes away from my house. What they're trying to do is combine animals and humans. Miles, I went to one of their seminars. There had to be 20 girls in that, like female students at the veterinary college in Guelph. That's what they're doing at the veterinary college. The speakers, saying whatever, they're all nodding. And I'm sitting here going, how fucking stupid can you be? They want to create a vaccine that applies to people and animals. Do you think they're trying to make the animals smarter or us dumber? But these girls are nodding.
It means
Miles, what do we do?
they're injecting a transgenic pathway to allow animal diseases into humans. That's what it means.
Okay, so we already know that. So I'm glad you said that. That's exactly what they're doing. So what they're doing now is giving the when you go to the vet, they're giving the pets a shot. That's a MNRA or whatever that's called. But what it's doing is creating rabies. So now we're going to have rabid dogs. How long before that gets into people? We've got zombie people now. How long before they bring the rabies into people? So some of the symptoms that I've gone through, I go online, I listen to different doctors talk, like Dr. Artis, I like him, Tenpenny, I like her. There's a few of them. I just listen to them talk. Artis had somebody on talking about Lyme disease, how she cured her own Lyme disease. I went through and I'm looking at what I'm going through and I'm thinking that makes more sense that I have Lyme disease. Because what they're bringing in is West Nile, Lyme disease, and rabies into Canada. I've done videos on this. It's in the literature. So that's what they plan on doing. So what happens if we have rabid dogs and then we have rabid people? What's that going to do? I think we're being targeted here so heavily because I think they want to control the United States. If they can really give us a run for our money up here, it'll slowly seep down into the US. Now they got another problem. It's not like they don't have enough problems. They've got enough of their own problems. That's what I think is the plan. So I'm very fortunate. I have some really good friends here. that are awake. They're not woke, they're awake. So when I go over and I go, I've been thinking, and then I come up with something, they listen to me. They'll give me their feedback, of course, because that's what I want. But when I'm saying this is what they're doing, they're like, yeah, that makes sense.